Hi guys, this is Areses. Don't forget to subscribe to Zamari TV for more exciting content. See you soon.
Areses Journey, also known as Areses, was born in 1988. She's a singer, dancer, and actor, and won the first ever season of The Voice Nigeria. Areses is a musical theatre performer both in Nigeria and in the United States, and has featured in quite a number of musicals which include Waka and Saro the musical. She also starred in Zamari, an African magic series, and is a graduate of visual arts from the Washington and Lee University in Virginia. So hi Areses, how's it going?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, so you've had like an amazing journey in front of our screens, from winning The Voice in 2016, and there's so much that has happened since then till now. How's the journey been like for you?
The journey has been long. No, there's been a lot that has happened in the past. Where are we now? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I've experienced a lot of firsts. I have done a lot of things that I've always wanted to do and have now been afforded the opportunity to do. So it's been a really, really exciting time.
Mm-hmm. And I think that when you've been a competition like The Voice, you're the winner, you're The Voice 2016, the very first Voice Nigeria winner, people expect that, you leave and then you become Beyonce. So tell me about that, because I know that should put a lot of pressure on you. Imagine.
It kind of did, except, I don't know, maybe I'm stubborn, so I refuse to kind of get caught up in that. Even on the show, I was never the Beyonce type. I made it clear that this is who I am, the kind of music I chose to sing, the way I chose to present myself as sincere as I could possibly be, because I can't keep up with that pressure of being, because Beyonce, I feel like she must live a very stressful life, because she has to be so detailed and intentional about the way she presents herself, because she's this larger than life character, which that may be a reflection of who she is in real life, but it's not, it's hard to sustain, at least for me. So people tried to put that pressure on me, musically, personality-wise. Oh, you have to start dressing this way. Oh, you have to start doing, you have to be on point all the time. No. After a while, I had to tone that down. So, in terms of music, it's taken me a long time to come out with a second single because of that kind of pressure of going back and forth as to what kind of music I should do based on winner of The Voice and all that. But I think I finally reached a place where I am sure of who I am artistically, and I'm really, really excited to start that next phase of music as Areses by myself.
There's nothing that is more fulfilling than to be in that space where you think, okay, this is more me.
Yes.
I'm proud of my art.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I know that for a lot of people who are into art spaces, they saw you first in Waka, and just after Waka, you went into The Voice, so people had seen you acting and people had seen you do music and everything. And so the switch to music and acting was kind of a bit direct. It was like, okay, there's no time to, should I say, bask in the euphoria of winning The Voice and the music industry. Was it intentional for you to, make that switch almost immediately from music back to acting? Yeah.
That's an interesting, I like these questions you're asking, because that's something for off camera. First of all, it's interesting you brought up Waka, because funny enough, a lot of people met me from The Voice or got to know about me from The Voice. So the whole acting thing was never, they're like, suddenly you're an actress, as opposed to, transitioning back to acting. The way you phrased it was very, I'm like, okay, some people knew me before. You knew me. No, It wasn't really intentional, but it also wasn't a complete fluke. I have been aiming towards acting for as long as I can remember. And, the Voice was a platform, I can't lie. I mean, I have been aiming towards acting for a long time, and The Voice sort of elevated my profile in the way that helped me break through, to be honest. Although, funny enough, Zamari is something that had been in the works from before I won The Voice.
Oh, wow.
It just so happened that the timing went back to back like that.
Oh, okay, so you had done Jamie before you went on The Voice?
No, I had not done it yet, but it had been what's the word? Pitched to me before all that happened. And then after The Voice, it was like, oh yeah, this is I'm it. This is me. So, okay, cool.
Yeah,
so
okay.
It just so happened to work out that way.
happened.
Yeah, I had auditioned for Tinsel a million times before The Voice. Well, maybe that one happened because of The Voice. Actually, thinking about it, no, I'm just kidding. But really, all these things, it seemed like they happened overnight, but I've been working towards a lot of them for a really long time.
I guess people never really see the process, but they get to see what happens after. So they see the person that has become, they see, and they don't get to understand that people actually spend time, and build themselves up, to this space. And you're a triple threat, you sing, you dance. We saw it in your first single, the video for your first single. We saw it in Waka. You act and all that, and you kind of like had a thing going for you in the United States, with school and musical theater and all that stuff. I'm just curious to understand, because Nigeria is a very peculiar place right now. You understand, and people will just imagine that. You just say, okay, let me just stay back, and try and be the next Lupita or be the next David Oyelowo. But you tend to move back to Nigeria. I want to know what informed you to move back home.
Nigeria, I'll put it in the simplest way I can think of. This country is ripe. And it's ripe because it may not be as old, like the industry, for example, our specific industry isn't as old as Hollywood, for example, but it's been constantly growing. And in the last just 5 years that I've been in Nigeria, we have taken leaps and bounds in 5 years. So imagine where it will be in another 10 years, right? Does it not make sense to come back when it's still at that beginning stage so you can grow with the industry? That's it. Nigeria was ripe when I moved, and it's exploding now, and it's going to continue to explode. So it only made sense to me looking from where I was. First of all, coming home has always been part of my plan. I don't think it was ever my intention to go and die in America. That's not my goal.
Okay.
So living in Nigeria has always been something that was in my head from a young age. So I know eventually I'm going to move back, even if it's just to do NYSC and come. No. I'm going to come back to Nigeria. And just the industry is ripe, and I'm so glad I moved back when I did.
Do you worry about the fact that there's no structure? I think a lot of artists, entertainers, even actors complain about the lack of structure. And like you're doing music, you're acting. How does that affect the work that you do? Is it easy to function in that space?
It is. There are challenges that come along with the lack of structure. But I call Nigeria the Wild Wild West all the time, because you just make your own rules. You can. So even though we can say there's lack of structure, whatever that may mean, you can still sort of carve your space. So even if productions tend to run a certain way, you can say, well, I'm going to hold myself to this standard, and this is how I'm going to operate. And you find that you eventually will affect those around you. It might take time, but it happens eventually, we hope. and you can see it happening in production companies that are setting themselves apart from everybody else because they hold themselves to a higher standard. And as more people come on the scene, the standard keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed. And next thing you know, it'll be what lack of structure? We have it exists. It's there. So I don't think that would be. I don't think it was a mistake at all to come back.
How did you discover theater?
Well, it's a long story. No. I used to really, really love Indian movies back in the day when I was a kid. Like my mom used to have all those Sunitas and Kuchi Kabigam, all those Devdas, all those ones that we all know. And I used to, like, the musical numbers in those, I would learn the songs, even though I don't speak the language, learn the choreography and be going along with them, right? So I've always loved singing and dancing and emoting and just that whole, I used to pretend I was in music videos by myself in my room. So,
What video was your go-to video?
I would just make them up. It wouldn't even be that there's music playing.
Okay.
I'll be just sitting by the window and like a very silly human being. So I've always been really into expression. But my grandfather was an artist, Iraboy Mokwai. Google him too.
Yeah.
He's there.
So you're from a legendary family of creatives.
Of creatives. Yeah. And so I always knew that this art is something I have to do. So I went to school for art. I was a visual arts major all through high school, elementary school. I was all about art. I said the artist. And I thought that's what I was going to do for a living. And I did. I was a major in college. Or university, I guess, uni, whatever, college. I was an art major, and then, college is all about expression and exploration and trying new things. So I went as far as to take like a Russian class just because. So I can say Здравствуйте, I can, little things like that, just to have that stretch. So I said to myself, well, there are auditions for this thing. They say you don't have to have any experience. Why not? Let's just try to do it just for fun. So I auditioned and got cast as an ensemble dancer. I was like, me that I've never taken a dance class in my entire life. And the rest is history. Wow. I fell in love with the whole department. I wanted to be in the dance company. I wanted to be in every single show that the theater department produced. And that's how I ended up living in the arts and theater building for the rest of my college career. Wow. Literally.
Did you ever dream of doing Broadway?
Of course. What do you mean? It's not. Did I ever? I currently.
Yeah, still dreaming. Yeah. So what's a dream Broadway production that you think that you'd be amazing in?
Oh my gosh. There are too many to pick. Right now, my current Broadway obsession is Hamilton.
Okay.
By Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Hamilton was pretty dope. Even though I never got to see it, but
nobody. The few people. I'm like the people who are out there saying they've seen Hamilton. How? There are no tickets. How? But I love that show. I think it's so brilliant. Hamilton, Chicago. I played Velma Kelly. Oh wow! My senior year of college. Okay. And at the end of that show, the applause, that's what made me say, no, I have to try this professionally. So there's that. Lion King, obviously. To play Rafiki, actually, is my dream
Okay, that's
role.
an interesting role.
Yeah, I would love to play Rafiki. Okay. Although thanks to Terra Culture and BAP Productions, I've gotten to at least live my slight Rafiki dream. I played her once or twice. But yeah, those are my top three, I would think. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Nice one. What issues do you feel you would like to see change in Nigeria, for example?
Ooh, there are a lot. I think the big one for me, it ties back into this quote of just being true to yourself. I find that, and it's normal, human beings, we're social creatures, so you want to be liked, you want to be accepted, and it's easy to get just sort of pushed about in life by whatever is the latest trend or whatever is popular or whatever you think will make people like you. And I find that as human beings in general, we get lost in that mire, kind of, or mire is not the right word, but anyway, you get lost in that cloud of outer influence. And I know for me, it led to a lot of insecurity and a lot of issues that arise from that because I wasn't living as a secure, this is who I am kind of person. And I feel like a lot of issues arise from that. And if we would just embrace who we really are, things like anxiety, depression, getting into trouble, crime, all these things, it's hard to engage in them when you live a principled life, when you're sure of what you believe in and what you stand for. And so I just feel like if more people embraced who they really are and what they believe in, whatever that may be, I'm not trying to preach my own views on anybody else, the world would be a better place.
What do you want to be remembered for? Maya Angelou has passed and we keep talking about how Fela has gone for a while and he still lives on through his music and things he said. What is that thing you want to be remembered for?
Well, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, sincerity. I want people to remember that there was somebody out there who lived her life according to her principles and embraced who she was, flaws and all, imperfections and all, and was a ray of light, positivity, good things, good vibes only, that kind of thing. And hopefully that will encourage people to embrace themselves as well.
Okay. Thank you, Arese.
Thank you, Harry.